Shalom, Apostle talking back at you with the truth, giving all praise to you. How about Shemel Shabbat Shem Makar Kodash? Today's date is 8/11/2019, the year Karagma, which Karagma means the chip, the microchip. And I'm going to title this video GMS Members See UFOs in the skies. We were down there teaching in Manhattan, in the city of Manhattan, and Vocab Malone rose up on us with about 8 to 10 individuals with him. And at first we ignored him and we wasn't going to engage with him. And then eventually turned out that we had a dialogue with him. And it was a pretty good dialogue because a lot of things were thrown back and forth. Bad us to them. Mainly the scriptures. Like I said, I don't know, what Vocab Malone is all about. And the people that came with him, at the end of the whole thing, we, dapped each other, pound each other. But at the end of the day, I don't know if Vocab Malone was sent or he's really, he really got a thing for the Israelites. I don't know if he was initially sent by people over him and he was paid to do this. And maybe he's starting to see it, or whatever the case may be. I don't know I don't know what's in his mind. But when they first rolled up, it was a little awkward, and because he didn't say he's gonna come up and talk to us, and basically I said I don't want to deal with him, ignored him. But then, as we watched the video, the live stream that we did earlier, basically we got into an argument. We were arguing back and forth about scripture, and then basically it kind of calmed down, and individuals that were able to hear each other. We covered a lot of things, and it was a very fast pace. And we normally out there for 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, but we were out there, I believe it was 2 hours and a half. I'm sorry, 3 hours and a half. I got to look it up, but we were going back and forth, and it wound up being a pretty good experience, because you want people to bring other things in the scriptures that we normally don't deal with, and it's our job to answer those questions or those scriptures that they throw at us. And that's why it's important to always study these scriptures and study these videos and find out, get an idea of somebody rolling up and throwing a scripture at you, and you should be able to answer it. We should understand you have an unction from the Holy One, and you know all things. First John 2 verse 20. Anyway, at the end of this dialogue back and forth with Vocab and certain other individuals that came with him, they had left. It was it was 8:39, almost 9 o'clock, and it was dark already, and they had left, and basically it ended up on a good note. I have to admit, we kind of pounded each other, dapped each other. Some of us even hugged each other, and they had left, and they had went down one block and turned the corner, and as soon as they turned the corner, G-Man, I know you should know G-Man came on the scene, and saying where's Vocab and so forth. And G-Man had did a little video with me, and brothers started yelling that they saw UFOs. So I turned around to look, and they were definitely UFOs. I mean, they were UFOs. There was about maybe 20 of them that turned into 40 of them, then turned into 60 of them to turn to about 100 of them. They were lights in the sky, and I was trying to be rational about this whole thing. And I said, nah, that's a blimp. Those are helicopters. Those are planes. And I said, nah, I never seen 100 plus planes kind of cluster together and fly over. That I never seen that in my entire life. I never seen 100 helicopters all bunched up together in close proximity. I never seen that. And plus, they were so close that you would have heard the sound of the chopper, the helicopter. And I said they're not blimps, because they don't fly blimps at night, because you can't see nothing because it's night. So the conclusion was that they were the chariots of the Most High. And I kind of yelled at brothers, and even G-Man, what you see here on the screen, G-Man with Tahar, GMS claims UFOs are here, because he actually saw the UFOs. And at first he said, well, those are not UFOs. He said, they're lights. And I said, well, look, those lights are actually UFOs. Now, if you go to G-Man's page, simply entitled capital G and Man, and it's the title of the video is G-Man with Tahar, GMS claims UFOs are here. And you watch the video 50 minutes in of a 2-minute and 7-second long video. You see me and G-Man talking, and then all of a sudden you hear brothers yelling about they saw they're looking at UFOs, and we turned around, and I clearly saw anywhere from 80 to 100 UFOs. There were lights in the sky that were moving, and they looked kind of like bluish, maybe purplish, a light, because they were kind of far away, but not too far away. And we definitely saw them, and they were definitely, I said, you had to rule out blimps, you had to rule out planes, you had to rule out a lot of things. And that's what I do in my mind. I rationalize things. I say, well, wait a minute, that could be a blimp. No, it wasn't a blimp. That can be 100 jets flying. Well, you would have heard the sound. We didn't hear any sound. These lights that we see in the sky, we didn't hear any sound coming from these lights, these orbs. So I came to the conclusion that these are definitely what ESO calls UFOs. And I kind of felt a little guilty, because I felt like, well, what if I didn't defend the gospel like I was supposed to defend the gospel when Vocab and them rolled up, so I felt, I felt, guilty, and I feel that did I do the Most High service, because I want the Most High to know that I'm doing His will. Anyway, we definitely saw UFOs. It had to be about 100 of them, 80 to 100 of them, all pretty much in close proximity to each other, and just gloriously floating through the heavens where we were located. and then that took about maybe 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, and then you can see the lights just turn off, or the ships or the UFOs disappearing. Whether they turned their lights off or whether they had a cloaking device, whatever the case may be. And I said it was an astonishing thing. And like I said, I noticed that as soon as Vocab and his crew left and turned the corner, and G-Man came on the scene, that's when the UFOs. Well, there was one brother that kept saying, "That's a UFO up there." He kept pointing. And I didn't see it. I'm looking at this thing. I said, "That's a star." He said, "No, that's a UFO." But then these orbs that we saw they were not planes. They were not blimps. They were not helicopters. They made no noise. And I said, "Yeah, these." My conclusion was, these are the chariots of the Most High for the children of Israel. Now I'm gonna close. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to and this is the go-to scripture. Zechariah 5. It said 5:1. Then I looked and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, "What seest thou?" And I answered, "I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits." So this wasn't a very big ship. It said, third verse, "Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it." Now the scriptures tell you that you shouldn't swear. Scripture said, "Let your nay be nay, and your yea be yea." So we don't have to put our hands on a stack of Bible and swear that we're going to tell the truth. You know, your word is your bond. But Esau says, "No, you got to swear it on the stack of Bibles," which is clearly not unbiblical. It says the fourth verse. It's Zechariah 5 verse 4. "I will bring it to forth, saith the Lord." What is he going to bring forth? These unidentifiable flying objects, or these unidentifiable what is it? What is the new acronym? UAO, I believe it is. Unidentified aerial. UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. So instead of using UFOs, they use the acronym UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. It goes on to say in the fourth verse, Zechariah 5 verse 4, "I will bring it forth, saith the Lord, and it shall enter into the house of the thief." The house of the thief is America first and foremost, because everything you got, you stole from the North American Indians, Seminole Indians. You stole what do you call it? The jewelry, the gold, the minerals, the riches of the earth. "And unto the house of him that sweareth falsely." And that's what you do. In your system, when you go to the court, they make you swear. The scriptures say you're not supposed to swear on anything. James 5, and what is that? Matthew's, I believe it's 10. I'm not sure if it's 34. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to go to it. So there won't be no argument. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's Matthew 10. I'm sorry, I didn't put it in. Let me do it again. Bear me for a minute. I don't think that's it. Bear me for a minute. I'm sorry. Maybe it's in the 5th chapter. I'm sorry. Let me check that. Okay, that's it. That's Matthew 5, verse 34. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is the throne, it is the Most High's throne, nor by the earth, for it is the footstool, neither by, and it's the footstool of the Most High. Neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. Neither shalt thou swear by the head, because thou canst not make one hair white or black. So that it tells you right there not to swear. Let's go to James. James 5, and I believe it's the 12th verse. James 5, verse 12. But above all things, my brethren, swear not, neither by heaven, neither by earth, neither by any other oath, but let your yea be yea, and your nay be nay, lest ye fall into condemnation. So when you go before a judge and they tell you to swear in, what you do is you tell them that you declare. You're not swearing, you're declaring. They have to accept that. I'm sorry, I was in the book of Zechariah. It says, in the middle of Zechariah 5 verse 4, it says, and into the house of it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely. So that's what Esau does, which is clearly against the scriptures. You don't swear, and I gave you 2 scriptures on that. It said by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof, and with the stone thereof. Fifth verse. Then the angel that talked with me went forth and said unto me, Lift up now thine eyes, and see what is this that goeth forth. And I said, What is it? And he said, This is an ephod that goeth forth. He said, moreover, this is the resemblance through all the earth. So the main thing we want out of this scripture is the first, four or five verses, which is the flying roll. And we witnessed that tonight. All giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash, the water, and it's on to the next one. Shalom.